Hello and welcome to another On Deck Baseball gameplay video. Today we're going to dive back into the ODBLL for a matchup between the 3-1 Aces and the 3-1 Captains. Both of these teams are comprised of players from the Legends of the Game sets 1 and 2, so definitely check those out. And today we have a fantastic matchup between each of the team's #1 starters. So for the Aces, we're going to have Mordecai Brown pitching. In the first game, he did come out the winner, but he gave up a ton of runs, either 6 or 7, but the Aces put up 16 in that game, so he was on the winning side. For the Captains, we have Old Haas going. He pitched a much better game for his team. He did come out victorious, only gave up 2 runs in the first game. As usual for this league, I am scoring on the tablet using Game Changer, so there will be a little bit break in the action as I navigate through the app there. With no further ado, we'll go ahead and get started with first pitch. If you could, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment below. All of that helps these videos gain some traction. And we will get started with first pitch, Aces at Captains. Both teams are 3-1. Both teams have started off very well in the inaugural season for the ODBLL, and they are going after win number 4. So we'll see who comes out on top, getting that 4th victory of the season. We'll go ahead and open up these books, get these pitchers where they're going, and get started here with first pitch. I do have some stats to my side, so if you hear the audio going in and out, it's because I'm checking out my laptop with the statistics. We have gone through 4 games so far, so we have some statistics to talk about as we've accumulated a decent amount of at-bats for both of these teams. So leading off is going to be Lou Brock against Old Haas. Brock a lefty and Old Haas a righty. So we're going to have an equal roll on the confrontation roll here. And first pitch is going to be a batter's card for Brock. We have a 5-3, and it looks like it's going to be a flyout. I will be reading that blue die first, and Brock is going to fly out to center. Next up, we're going to have Rod Carew. Carew a lefty. It's going to be a +1 on the roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card for Haas. A 1-7 is going to be a ground out, though, and that ground out is going to go to second base. So Carew is the second out of the top of the first. And now Buck Ewing is going to be the batter. Buck Ewing got his first start of the season in last game, I believe. Nope, sorry, must have been thinking about somebody else. Buck Ewing has a .467 average in 15 at-bats. He's got 1 double, 6 singles. So he's definitely one of the contributors for this Aces lineup, as this lineup is batting .359 so far through 4 games. So Ewing is a righty. It's going to be 4 against a -5, so it's a -1 on a roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Ewing. And a 1-1 is going to be a strikeout swinging. So Old Haas gets through with a 1-2-3 inning. And that's going to bring us to the bottom of the first, as Ty Cobb is going to go up against Mordecai Brown. We'll go ahead and check out what this confrontation roll is. It's a lefty versus the righty, so it's going to be a +1 on roll. That's going to go up to a batter's card for Cobb. A 3-10 is going to be a flyout, so Cobb is going to fly out to right field to kick things off here in the bottom of the first. That's going to bring up Wagner. Honus Wagner, having a rough start to the season. In 18 at-bats, he's just batting .056, not something you would think Wagner would do. He has 1 single to start off the season so far. So let's see if he can get things going. It's righty versus righty, a -1 on a roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card for Brown. An 8-1 looks like it's going to be a ground out, so the struggles continue for Wagner as he grounds out to first on an easy play for Tomei over at first base. That's going to bring up Gehrig. Gehrig a lefty. It's going to be +1 on a roll. That is going to be a batter's card for Gehrig. A 4-2, though, it's going to be a situation. We have our first situation of the game here in the bottom of the first. I'll go ahead and get my situation matrix here, and we're going to roll 2 die to see what's going on here. We roll a 9-2. It's on the catcher, Buck Ewing. Let's see what goes on. We've got to roll a 5. Catcher mixes up signals with the pitcher and has trouble picking up the pitch. His catcher's defense plus roll. Well, it's going to be a pass ball. We don't have anybody on base, so we don't have to worry about that. We're going to go ahead and roll over on the confrontation roll, as that solution was pretty much satisfied there. To +1. That's going to be a batter's card on Gehrig again. And we roll a 4-5 is going to be a ground ball. So both pitchers get a 1-2-3 inning in the first, as Tomei is going to get another ball. This time he's going to go to his side and pitch it over to Brown for the out on the 3-1. That's going to bring us to the top of the second. And Larry Walker will be the leadoff hitter. Walker batting .556 on the season so far for the Aces. That's 7 singles, a double, and 2 home runs. So he's having a great start to the year. And it's going to be a +1 on the confrontation roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card for Haas. And an 8-4 is a ground ball. So 4 outs in a row now for old Haas, as that will be to the second baseman, as Collins will shift it over to Gehrig for the 4-3 putout. That's going to bring up Jim Tomei. Tomei, he's having a .250 average so far through the season. 1 single and 2 home runs with 4 RBIs. So he's having a pretty good start to the year. You wouldn't expect him to have a high average in a league like this, I suppose. It's going to be an equal roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card for old Haas. And an 8-6 is going to be the game's first single, as Tomei is going to hit that one into left field for a base hit. And that's going to bring us to Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones having a great season so far. .529 average, no home runs, but he has 6 RBIs and 6 singles. He is a right-handed hitter, so it's going to be -1 on a roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Jones. A 4-9 is going to be a pop-out. So Jones gets jammed by Haas, and he's going to pop it out to third base for the second out of the inning. Matthews underneath it, collects it, and that's going to bring up Turkey Stearns. Turkey Stearns, he is having another fine season, a .450 average, 3 doubles, 5 singles. He does have a home run and 4 RBIs. So Stearns, a lefty batter, it's going to be equal roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. A 7-3 is going to be a ground ball. We already have 2 outs, so that's going to get old Haas out of the inning, and it's going to be a ground ball to second base, as Collins will get it over to Gehrig for the final out. Now we're going to head to the bottom of the second, and Sammy Sosa is going to be the batter. Sosa is struggling so far in the season, a 143 average, 1 home run and 2 RBIs, so we'll see if he can get things going as well. He is a right-handed batter, so it's going to be a -2 on the roll here. That's going to go down to a pitcher's card for Brown, and a 5-9 is going to be a ground out. So Sosa is going to ground out to first for the inning's first out. Tomei will take it himself on that one. And that's going to bring up Eddie Matthews. Matthews is a .308 hitter so far. He's got a double, 3 singles, and an RBI and 2 runs scored. So not too bad for Eddie Matthews. Left-handed batter, it's going to be equal roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card for Matthews. And an 8-5 on Mordecai's card is a flyout. And that flyout is going to go to left field. Now we're going to Ivan Rodriguez against Mordecai Brown. Ivan Rodriguez, the catcher. He is a .267 hitter. He's got 4 singles, 4 runs scored for Pudge. So he's having a decent season so far. It's going to be -2 on the roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. And a 2-4 is going to be a ground ball. And that grounder is going to go to short. And that is the second consecutive 1-2-3 inning for Mordecai Brown. And we're going to get a chance to roll on his Happy Face Poise chart. See if he gets an increase here. A roll of 3, and it is not an increase. So no increase to his ability, which is good news for the Aces. And we'll head to the top of the third now, as Mr. October is going to lead off for the Aces. Reggie Jackson, a lefty, it's going to be -1. That's going to be a pitcher's card. And a 9-3 is going to be a pop-out. Jackson gets jammed, and he is going to pop it out to third base. That'll bring us to George Davis. George Davis, one of the batters that are struggling for the Aces, as he's batting just .167, so he's not doing so great in this lineup when everybody else seems to be excelling. He is a switch hitter. It's going to be lefty versus righty. In that case, it's going to be a +1 on the roll, and that's a batter's card for Davis. A 7-10, looks like he may start getting rolling, as that is going to be a single for George Davis, That single is going to go to center field. So the liner gets in and drops in front of Cobb. And we have one on with one out, and that's going to bring us back to the top of the order. Speaking of struggling hitters, Lou Brock, the leadoff hitter for the Aces, he's only batting 154. He's got 2 singles for the Aces. So with that, we'll see if he can get started as well. It's going to be equal roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card. I'm going to drop one of my die. And a 210 is going to be a ground ball. We got a possible double play here. That ground ball is going to go to second base. Collins is a 5 on Davis. Only a 20% chance he makes it there. He does not. And then Wagner is a 4 on Brock. We roll a 10, and it is, in fact, a double play, a very hard double play to complete with Davis and Brock running. But it is the 4-6-3 double play. Collins to Wagner to Gehrig. And that will end the top of the third as we head to the bottom of the third. No score here between the Aces and the Captains. And that is going to bring up Ed Delahanty. Delahanty was the batter I was actually thinking of when I thought Buck Ewing was his first start, but Delahanty had his first start last game, and he did quite well. 1 for 3, about a .333 overall. But the big news was that one hit was a biggie as he had 4 RBIs. It was not a home run, but it was a bases clearing triple, and then he had an RBI, I believe, on a sac fly as well. So with Delahanty hitting, he is a 5 against righties, against a 5 for Mordecai Brown. It's equal confrontation roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. And a 7-4 is going to be a grounder, and that ground ball is going to get picked up by Carew for a 4-3. Carew to Tomei for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Eddie Collins, second baseman. He is a lefty. It's going to be +1 on a roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card for Brown. A 6-9 is a walk. So that walk is going to do a couple of things. First, it's going to get the first base runner for the Captains, but it's also going to wipe out a possibility as for an automatic increase on Brown's pitching ratings, as that could have been the third consecutive 1-2-3 inning. So now with a man on, first and one out, we have the story of the league so far, Ichiro Suzuki. Just to give you an idea of how good Suzuki has been doing, he has 7 singles and 2 doubles and a home run so far on the season. That is 10 hits in 15 at-bats. He is batting .667. 6 RBIs with 3 runs scored. So Suzuki is having a fantastic season so far, and he has a man on looking to do some damage again. It's going to be equal roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Suzuki. A 4-4 though, and it looks like Brown is going to get something rare here, and that is an out against Suzuki as he will fly out to center. Stearns underneath it, and that's going to bring us back to the top of the order now as Ty Cobb will step into the box against Brown. It is going to be +1 on the roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Cobb. We still have 1 on with 2 away, but it looks like Cobb is going to line it sharply to, let's see, sorry, lost my thought. Line it sharply to Tomei over at first for the final out here in the bottom of the third. And that's going to bring us to the top of the fourth with Radbourn going up against Rod Carew. Carew, another one of those struggling hitters for the Aces. He's batting just .167. He's got a double, a couple of singles, 4 runs scored, and an RBI. So we'll see if he can get things going. You have to figure these bats have to cool down for the Aces at some point. We'll see if this is when it starts. It's going to be +1 on a roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card for Radbourn. A 7-4 is going to be a ground out for Carew as he will ground out to second base. Buck Ewing now the batter. He is going to be a -1 on a confrontation roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. And a 2-3 is going to be a strikeout looking as Radbourn hits the corner, and Buck Ewing is caught looking on the third strike. 2 away now. That's going to bring up Larry Walker. Larry Walker is having a fantastic season, batting .556, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs. Looking to get things going for the Aces here in game number 5. It's going to be a +1 on the roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Walker. A 9-9. It's not a home run, but we have a triple. So Walker gets the triple and gets in scoring position as he drives it into the left center gap for a triple. Cobb will come up with it, and he's on third with 2 away. Jim Tomei, the batter. We'll see if some modern day players can get some runs going here in this game, as Tomei against Radbourne is going to be a equal roll on a confrontation. That's a batter's card for Tomei. And 8-5 is a base hit. Tomei is going to get the hit. That's going to go into right field. And that is going to score Walker, who was on third base. And we have our first run of the game as the Aces jump out in front with a 1-0 lead with 2 outs still here in the top of the 4th. And Tomei on first. Chipper Jones, the batter now. It's going to be -1. That's going to be a pitcher's card. A 10-6 is going to be a base hit. That base hit is going to go to right. Suzuki up with it. Tomei is not going to try and go to third on Suzuki's arm. And we're going to have Turkey Stearns now, the batter, with 2 away and 2 on. Stearns, left-handed batter, it's going to be equal. That's going to be a pitcher's card. We'll see if Radbourne can get out of it. And he does. A 3-2 is going to be a strikeout looking, as Radbourne will get the inside part of the plate. Stearns can do nothing but watch it as the umpire calls strike 3, and we head to the bottom of the 4th now as the Aces jump out in front with a 1-0 lead. That's going to bring up Wagner. Wagner, as I mentioned, is struggling. We'll see if he can get things going here. It's going to be a right-handed batter against a right-handed pitcher. It's a -1. That's going to be a pitcher's card for Brown. A 7-4 is going to be a ground ball. The struggles continue. The struggle is real for Wagner as he will ground out to George Davis over at shortstop. And that's going to bring up Gehrig with 1 away. And it's going to be in +1 on a roll. Gehrig gets a batter's card. A 4-4 though as Brown continues to pitch well. That's going to be a ground out to third base. Chipper Jones will get it and shoot it over to Tomei at first for out number 2. That's going to bring up Sammy Sosa. Sosa, it's going to be an -2 on a roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Sosa. Can he tie the game up here for the Captains? It doesn't look likely, as a 9-2 is going to be a pop-out. Sosa swings hard but gets jammed by Brown, and he pops it out to Tomei over at first. That's going to bring us to the top of the 5th now. Radbourne gave up 1 run last inning, but he has pitched solid so far. And it's going to be Reggie Jackson leading off for the Aces. It's going to be a -1 on a roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Jackson. A 4-4. I'm assuming, I was going to say a strikeout, but no, it's going to be a flyout as he gets a good piece of the bat on it, but he is going to fly out to center for the inning's first out. George Davis now the batter. Davis, the switcher, is going to be +1 on the roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. A 2-7 is going to be a ground out, and that ground out is going to go to first. Gehrig will take it himself, and that's going to bring us back to the top of the order. Lou Brock looking to get things started. As I mentioned, he's not having a great start to the season. Not what you would expect from a leadoff hitter, not what you would expect from Lou Brock. It's going to be equal roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Brock. A 10-7 looks like we're going to get something going here as Brock is going to find himself on second base with a double. And that double goes into left field. And we have a man in scoring position with 2 away, and Rod Carew, the batter. That's going to be +1. That's going to be a batter's card for Carew. A 9-8 is another double. Brock is going to come around to score as there's 2 outs. That double is going to go into center on Cobb. And we have a 2-0 ball game as the Aces score their second run. We have a man in scoring position still with Buck Ewan, the batter, and 2 away. It's going to be -1 on the roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card for Haas. A 9-5 is another base hit. Carew is going to come around to score as there are 2 outs. That base hit is going to go into left, and all of a sudden the Aces find themselves with a 3-run lead, and we're going to have to roll on Haas's sad face poise chart. A 5, he does not get rattled. You wouldn't expect Haas to get rattled in a situation like that. And we have a man on first with 2 away, and the Aces up 3-0. Larry Walker, a dangerous hitter. He is your batter, and it's going to be +1 on a roll. That's going to go up to a batter's card for Walker. And 8-6 is a base hit. The hits continue. That base hit is going to go into right. Ichiro with a solid arm. Ewan is going to find himself on third with 2 outs. However, he is not going to test Suzuki's arm. And we're going to have Tomei, the batter, now with runners at first and third and 2 away here in the top of the 5th. Aces up 3-0. It's going to be equal roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card for Radbourne. And 9-6 is another base hit. Tomei's coming through. That base hit goes to right field again. They're just peppering the outfield at this point. Walker is going to find himself on third, but he is not going to test that arm of Suzuki. And we again have first and third with 2 outs, and now Chipper Jones, the batter. It's going to be a -1 on a roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Jones. And it looks like Radbourne's finally going to get out of it with a 1-5 is a strikeout swinging, but the Aces put 3 more up on the board and are now up 4-0 against the Captains and Old Haas. That is going to bring us to the bottom of the 5th. Eddie Matthews will be the batter against Mordecai Brown, who has been pitching fantastically in this game. The left-handed batter. It's going to be equal roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Matthews. We'll see if the Captains can get something going here. A 6-9 is going to be a walk, so they do have a man on, and Ivan Rodriguez will be the batter. Rodriguez is going to be a -2 on a confrontation roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card for Brown. A 6-7 is going to be a flyout, so he gets a good piece of it, but he is going to fly out to center as Stearns is underneath it for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Ed Delahente. He had a great game, like I mentioned last game. Let's see if he can continue here. He's got a pitcher's card, though, and a 7-9 is going to be a base hit. So he will get things going here, hopefully, for the Captains, as that base hit is going to go to left field. And we have first and second now with Eddie Collins, the batter. That was the first hit of the game for the Captains, Ed Delahanty's single, as Mordecai Brown had a no-hitter through 4 innings. So he has been pitching, as I mentioned earlier, superbly in this game. Eddie Collins is the batter. Runners on first and second. It's going to be +1. That's going to be a pitcher's card for Brown. A 9-2 is going to be a flyout. I don't think we're going to be tagging in this situation, as the fly ball will go to left. Brock does not have a great arm, but we're not going to test it going to third on a flyout to left. And that's going to bring up Suzuki. We'll see if he can continue his dominance of the ODBLL here in a big spot for the Captains. And it's going to be an equal roll. It's going to be a batter's card. And 8-8 is going to be a single. Oh, Matthews, even with the 2 outs, I don't think we're going to attempt that. That's going to go to right field. Walker has a fantastic arm, but the single to right does load the bases, and we have 2 outs, and we're going to the top of the order with Ty Cobb coming to the plate. It's going to be +1. That's going to go up to a batter's card for Cobb. A 9-5 is a single. The Captains are on the board. That single is going to go to right field again. Delahente. He is a 4. I don't think we're going to test it. We're going to just keep things going here. Wagner, I know he's been struggling, but he's due, as some would say. And it's going to be a -1 on a roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card. A 7-6 is a flyout. Wagner cannot come through, as he will fly out to left. Brock is underneath it to end it, and end a huge threat by the Captains, who are only able to get 1 run in. And we will now head to the top of the 6th. So entering the 6th inning, both of these pitchers are 5-5s. We're going to end up having to roll on his first inning, past his max innings, which is 5. And it's a no change for Old Haas. So he is still good to stay in the game. I expected these pitchers to stay in long term. And he is going to be going up against Turkey Stearns, the first batter here in the top of the 6th. It's going to be righty versus lefty. It's going to be equal roll. It's going to be batter's card for Stearns. A 5-4 is going to be a fly out. Stearns gets underneath it, but he will fly out to right for the inning's first out. That'll bring up Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. It's going to be a -1 on a roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. A 5-4 is going to be a ground ball, and that grounder is going to go to first. Gehrig will take it, and he will get to his side, and Collins covering first for a 3-4. And that's going to bring up George Davis, the switch hitter. It's going to be +1 on a roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. And a 9-8 is going to be a base hit. Davis is aboard. That ball going to right field. Suzuki gets it, throws it in, and we have one on with 2 away, and we're heading back to the top of the order. Brock 1 for 3 in the game so far. It's going to be an equal roll. And it's going to be a pitcher's card for Radbourn. We have 2 outs here, and a 1-8 is going to get him out of the inning, as a line out from Brock is going to go right back to Gehrig for the LO3. That'll bring us to the bottom of the 6th now, and we are going to have to roll on Brown. As I mentioned, a 5-5, so pretty good chance at a no change, and that is exactly what happens. Mordecai Brown keeps his ratings, and he has pitched fantastically, except for that last inning where he gave up a run, as the Aces still lead 4-1. Gehrig is going to be the batter. It is going to be a +1 on the roll. That's a batter's card for Gehrig. And a 9-5 is a walk, so he is aboard, as Mordecai Brown will issue the free pass, and that's going to bring up Sosa. It's going to be -2 on the roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Sosa. A 3-1, though, is going to be a strikeout swinging, as Sosa can just not figure out the 3-fingered man. And that's going to bring up Eddie Matthews now. Matthews, left-handed batter. It's going to be equal roll. It's going to be a batter's card for Matthews. A 6-8 is going to be another walk. The second free pass issued by Brown in this inning. That's going to bring up Ivan Rodriguez, -2 on the roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card for Brown. A 4-10 is going to be a flyout, and that flyout will go to left. Brock's underneath it, and that's going to bring up Ed Delahente now. 2 outs with men on first and second. It's going to be equal roll, and it's going to be a pitcher's card for Brown. And 8-5 is going to be a flyout, as Brown will get out of the 6th after issuing 2 free passes, but a fly ball to Brock is going to end the inning. We head over to the top of the 7th. Ace is still up 4-1. We're going to have to roll on the second inning passed on Radbourn now. And that is a 9, which is no change, so both pitchers staying strong. And that's going to bring up Carew, the first batter here in the top of the 7th. It's going to be +1 on the roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Carew. A 9-3 is going to be a flyout, and that flyout will go to center. Cobb's underneath it. Buck Ewing now the batter. Ewing 1 for 3. It's going to be -1 on the roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card for Old Haas. A 6-10 is a flyout. Sneaks in the flyout there in the bottom of the matrix, and that fly ball is going to go to left, as Delahente will be under it for the second out here in the inning. And that's going to bring up Larry Walker. Walker is going to be a +1 on the roll. That's a pitcher's card. And a 3-4 will get Radbourn a 1-2-3 inning, as the ground ball is going to go to Gehrig, and Gehrig will pitch it over to Haas for the final out here in the top of the 7th. A 3-1 will get Haas out of it. Going to the bottom of the 7th now, we have to roll on Mordecai Brown's second inning passed. We roll a 10, and it is a -1. So Mordecai is now going to go down to a -3, -4, as Eddie Collins is going to be the batter. So Collins is going to now be a +2 on the roll. That's going to go up to a batter's card. We could see the captains take advantage of this. An 8-3 is going to be a possible error on a 5-5, which is a ground ball to the pitcher. So Mordecai Brown, who is a good fielder, he's a 4 there. We're going to roll on his error chart. Obviously his primary position. We roll a 3, and it is a 1-base error. Collins will reach on an error. So we have 1 on with nobody out, and here comes Suzuki. It's going to be a +1 now on a roll. That's a batter's card for Ichiro. a 5-1, and it looks like Brown is starting to figure out Suzuki as he will fly out to right for the inning's first out. That'll bring us to the top of the order again as Cobb will lead off, or Cobb will be at the plate with 1 on and 1 away. It's going to be +2 on the roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card for Brown. A 10-9 is a double. That double is going to go to left field in the gap. Brock is going to pick it up. He's got a 2-arm. Collins is going to be staying at third, though, as he does not get waved home. And that's going to bring up the struggle in Wagner. Let's see if he can make an impact here. The captains definitely need him. It's going to be equal roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. A 6-7 is a flyout. Wagner's struggles continue as the captains really need him, but he is going to fly out to Brock. Brock with the 2-arm. Collins, he's just going to score. As there will be no throw, the Aces are going to hold Cobb at second. And that is the second run for the captains, as a sacrifice fly will get a run in by Wagner. So he comes through a little bit, but he still has a long ways to go before he can start contributing like he should for this captain's lineup. That's going to bring up Lou Gehrig. We got 2 away here with a runner in scoring position on second base. It's going to be a +2. That goes up to a batter's card for Gehrig. And a 6-9 is going to be a base hit. Cobb's going to come around to score. That there's 2 outs here. That base hit is going to go to center field, and that will make the score 4-3 Aces with a runner on first and 2 away. Brown now has to roll on his sad face chart here. See if he gets rattled by this. He does not, and as I mentioned before, you would expect these pitchers not to. And that is going to bring up Sammy Sosa now with a runner on first and 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th. It is going to be an -1. That's going to be a batter's card for Sosa. A 4-8, though, is going to be a ground ball. Sosa cannot come through. That ground ball is going to go to Carew. And that is going to be the 3rd out here in the bottom of the 7th as we head to the top of the 8th. The Ace is up 4-3. We are going to have to roll on Radburn's next column. It does get a little bit harder here. We roll a 5 and it is a -1. But he is going to be a -3, -4, so still difficult to hit off of, and that's going to bring up Jim Thome, the first batter here in the top of the 8th. It's going to be now a +1 for Thome. That's a batter's card. A 4-3 is going to be a situation. Our second situation of the game here. Let's get our chart out. See how this one plays out. Gonna roll 2 die. We roll a 5-8, and it's on the pitcher. Oh, that could be bad. We'll roll 1. We roll a 6. Batter hit weak grounder to the left side. Pitcher tries to give it chase, but slips off the mound. Batter reaches safely with a single, and runners advance 1 base. Pitcher must be removed from the game and will miss the next 3 games as he suffers a hyperextended knee on the play. Not good news for the captains. So Thome is going to reach on a single. It's going to put a man at first, and we're going to go ahead and take out Radburn, see who we have in the pen. It looks like Smokey Joe Williams is going to come in. As Radburn needs to be removed. And that's going to give us a man on first with nobody out and Chipper Jones the batter. It's going to be +1 on the roll there. And a pitcher's card, a 5-6, is going to be a flyout. And that flyout is going to go to center. So Williams comes in and quickly gets the first out of the inning. Cobb gets underneath it. Turkey Stearns now the batter. It's a +1 on the roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. A 1-1 is a strikeout looking. So wasting no time. Smokey Joe Williams has 2 outs here. A man on first. And Reggie Jackson now the batter. It's going to be the equal roll there. That's a pitcher's card and another strikeout looking. So Williams goes right to work and gets 3 consecutive outs. As we head now to the bottom of the 8th, Mordecai Brown will be facing up against Eddie Matthews. We will have to roll on Brown's next inning, which will be number 3. We roll 4, and that's no change, so he keeps his current ratings intact, which is a -3, -4. Matthews, the batter. It's going to be an +1 on a roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card for Brown. A 2-9 is a ground ball. That ground ball is going to go to shortstop as George Davis will pick it up and shoot it over to Tomei. Ivan Pudge Rodriguez now the batter. It's -1. That's going to be a batter's card for Rodriguez. A 5-6 is going to be a fly out. Fly out goes to left. Brock underneath it, and we have 2 away. Ed De La Gente the batter. De La Gente is going to be a +1 on this roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card, though, for Brown. And a 9-1 is going to be a flyout as Brown will get a 1-2-3 inning here, as that flyout will go to Stearns in center field. That will bring us to the top of the 9th. And let's see, George Davis will be the batter. Because of the pitch and replacement, we no longer have to roll. Smokey Joe Williams can go 5 innings, so we're not worried there. He can go the rest of the game. May possibly extras if the captains can come back and tie it. And it's going to be a +2 on the roll. Let's see if the aces can prevent any extra innings by scoring some more runs here. Batter's card for Davis. A 2-10 is going to be a ground ball. That grounder is going to go to Gehrig at first. Gehrig will take it, shoot it over to Williams covering for a 3-1. We're going to head back to the top of the order, and Lou Brock the batter. It's going to be +1 on the roll there. That's going to be a pitcher's card. A 4-6 is a flyout. Smokey Joe Williams is doing an incredible job here, coming in for the injured Radburn, and that flyout's going to go to Cobb. So after the flyout to center, it's going to bring up Rod Carew. It's going to be a +2 on the roll. It's going to be a batter's card for Carew. A 10-8. After his slow start, he ropes a double. That double is going to go in the gap between center and right with Suzuki picking it up. And we have a runner on second with 2 away. And Buck Ewing the batter. It's going to be -1. That's going to go down to a pitcher's card. Actually, it's equal roll on a confrontation, but still a pitcher's card. A 7-7 is going to be a walk. So a walk issued by Williams as all of a sudden he finds himself in a little bit of trouble. There are 2 outs, and Larry Walker, the batter. Walker has been doing very well this season. It's a +2 on this roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card, though. A 10-3 is going to be a pop-out as he jams Walker to get out of it, and that pop-out is going to go to third base. Matthews underneath it for the final out here in the top of the 9th. That is going to bring us to the bottom of the 9th now, with the aces up 4-3, and you know, taking a chance on rolling a little bit more difficult roll. He's already a -1. I think the aces are going to go to their closer as they are up by just 1 run here, and that is going to be Bruce Sutter, who is a -4 against lefties and righties. So looking for his, I believe his first save of the season. And he's going to be starting out going up against Eddie Collins. So starts out in a very difficult position already, as Eddie Collins is a .347 hitter with a .451 on base over a 5-year peak. And it's going to be a +1 on the roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Collins. An 8-9. And he is in scoring position, having roped a double, and that double is going to go to left. Brock picks it up and gets it in, but we have a runner in scoring position, the tie and run, and Ichiro Suzuki the batter. It's going to be equal roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card for Suter. A 3-7, he will get Suzuki to ground out. We'll see if that runner advances. It will. Collins is going to find himself on third base as a ground ball will go to first. And Tomei to Sutter play. And now we have the tie and run just 90 feet away. And Ty Cobb, the leadoff man in this lineup, the batter. It's going to be a +1. It's going to be a batter's card for Cobb. A 5-4 is going to be a ground ball. The infield, of course, was in, so the runner will hold as Carew will get it over to Tomei for the second out here in the bottom of the 9th. And we still have Collins on third base, 90 feet away, the tie-in run, and Wagner coming up to the plate, who is due. This guy has got to get a hit at some point, and it is going to be an equal roll. Can Wagner come through for the Captains? It's going to be a pitcher's card on Sutter. This could be the ball game. And 8-1 is a flyout. Wagner's struggles continue as he will fly out to center field. Turkey Stearns is underneath it, and that will do it as the Captains fall to the Aces, who now have a 4-1 record. Wagner's struggles are real, as the winning pitcher is going to be Mordecai Brown. The losing pitcher will be not Smokey Joe Williams, Old Hoss Radbourne, and Sutter will get the save. So that is the Aces against the Captains. The Aces come out on top with the victory, 4-3. Let's take a look at who is our player of the game here. We will save and finalize that. Take a look at our box score. So, for the Captains, they struggled as Radbourne out the gate, had to be pulled early, gave up 4 runs. For the Aces, Jim Tomei went 4 for 4 with 2 RBIs. And Mordecai Brown only gave up 5 hits through 8 innings. He had that no-hitter through 4 innings and only 1 earned run. Did walk 4. So I think I got to give it to Tomei and Mordecai Brown. We're going to have co-players of the game in this one for the Aces, and that is Mordecai Brown and Jim Tomei. So thank you for checking out this game with me. That was a very fun one. Came down to the end. 90 feet away the tying run was, but Honus Wagner again is struggling and couldn't get that run in. If you guys hit that thumbs up, leave a comment below. I appreciate you spending some time with me here in the ODBLL, a On Deck Baseball gameplay video, and I thank you very much. Have a great night.